Hola, mis amigos! Analog Hoove here once again. It's time for me to put on my Chewbacca costume and find some nice shrubbery to hide in, because it's sniping time. Of course, this could just be a collection of various sniping clips I got over the course of a few days of Battlefield playing. Just to give a little bit of history on myself here, did enjoy sniping quite a bit in Bad Company 2. Never really bothered doing it too much in Call of Duty, except for being a corner camping bitch on Modern Warfare 2 with a Barrett 50 cal and thermal scope. But hey, I've come a long way since then. But anyways, yeah, sniping in the Battlefield series is way different from anything in Call of Duty. So if you're making that transition, it's quite a change to take, and even coming from Bad Company 2, it is a fair bit different. In that generally I guess the hit detection box, especially for headshots in this, feels quite a bit smaller than it was before. But anyways, and I'm still sort of adapting to the sensitivity, playing around with that, like the different bullet drop mechanics, and also the SV98 itself. Back in Bad Company 2 days, I preferred the GOL Sniper, Magnum, or the M40, which I felt were a lot more accurate, but hey, we'll see. And really, I'm still playing around with a lot of spots and options, just really trying to find the best areas. Like, I've discovered this little place under the bus here on Grand Bazaar, which works really well, and except for a little over to the right of here, it'll detect as you hitting the bottom of the bus. Even though it looks like you have a clear shot, you're still smacking it with your bullet, which doesn't really help. But if you're getting into this and you've been trying sniping and maybe you're getting a little frustrated, there's a few things to know to help you out. One, of course, is bullet drop, something that this game has that Call of Duty doesn't. So if you put your reticle on somebody's head and they're really far away, you have to take into consideration the fact that that bullet's going to drop over distance, and also it actually has to have time to travel there. I mean, in the Call of Duty world, it's instantaneous. I mean, the bullet actually doesn't travel through the environment in Call of Duty. It's just wherever you're aiming, boom, damage happens there. In this game, you actually do have to take into consideration travel time, which makes long-range sniping, especially on moving targets, very, very difficult, but also a lot more rewarding. At least I think so. And so, once again, you're starting out, take that in consideration. Also, other things that you think about is, of course, the fact when you're starting out, you only have access to a couple semi-automatic snipers, which lack the accuracy and power of something like the SV98 here. So, sort of, you have to suffer through that for a little while to get this. And even then, I'm hoping the future snipers down the road are a little more to my liking. I mean, one benefit of the SV98, though, is it does have a fairly large magazine compared to other snipers. And it's the first bolt action you get, so I guess you sort of have to make do with what you have here. But even if you do get it and you're still feeling that it's not quite living up to your expectations, once again, I recommend just sticking with it, because the more you play, the more kills you get with it, the more you're going to get that's going to make this a lot better of a gun. First of all is the 12 times scope. That is a huge addition to this gun, in my opinion. One big thing, of course, is the fact that it just gives you higher magnification, once again making shooting at distance significantly easier. And another big thing it does is, at least for the SV98, it gives you more traditional crosshairs. The stock one on this, and let's see, the SKS you got if you pre-ordered from GameStop, and the what is the other one? One of the other starting Russian sniper is it has the little chevrons for sniping, and I just don't like that. By the way, what I'm doing right here is, like, I like to just call this fishing for hit markers. I mean, I can see the enemies marked, but I cannot see them, so I figure, I'll give it a shot. You never know what'll happen. Get a few hit markers. Unfortunately, nothing better comes of it. Oh well. But anyways, the next thing you're going to get that's really going to help you out with your sniping is the bipod. And, of course, another thing they added into this game since Bad Company 2 was idle sway. Of course, something that Call of Duty fans are going to be very much familiar with. But when you combine The idle sway with the bullet drop, it makes sniping so much more difficult. I mean, and this even compared to Bad Company 2. And by bipoding your gun down, you're limiting your mobility, but you're getting a lot more in terms of accuracy. And the one thing I did learn while trying to get this gameplay here is that if you become suppressed, the enemy's shooting at you, your screen starts to blur, that also knocks you off your bipod. That's another thing to take into consideration. And then the final thing that's really going to help you out is the thing called the short action bolt. And what that will allow you to do, allows you to actually cock your gun without zooming out, which is another huge addition for staying on target for multiple shots. And the final thing to really discuss about sniping is nothing to do with your actual sniper rifle or scope. It's knowing how to use your pistol. Because when you get up and close, I mean, especially, hopefully once again, it's better with the other guns. The SV98 does not have a very good one-hit kill range, like even with upper body shots. So knowing how to use your pistol is very good. And this is just a clip of me going to town with the 1911 suppressed. Which realistically is not the best pistol, but hey, I like the 1911 in real life. Having the suppressor lowers accuracy and damage over range, but it's a pistol. That's really not too important, all things considered. And actually, you're going to see up here, I think it's with this kill, I unlocked the G17 suppressed, which is what I've been using this point going forward. And of course, snipers no longer have any means of dealing with tanks. They used to have C4, not so this time. So that's a few things to remember. Stick with sniping. You eventually get better guns and better equipment to make it easier. And don't forget to use your pistol. Alright, have a great day. I'll see you all later, hopefully on the battlefield. Adios, amigos.